President Trump is accusing Democrats of leaking the low-confidence intelligence report regarding the damage done and the extent of it to Iran's nuclear facilities. The president posting on Truth Social, they should be prosecuted. Here's White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
I know you're looking for this leaker. Is it your belief, I know you said earlier you're not sure if it's on Capitol Hill or at the Pentagon, but is it your belief that it might be in Capitol Hill? And how confident are you that you'll find this leaker?
Well, I'm not personally looking for the leaker. The FBI is looking for the leaker, so you'll have to ask them in the Department of Justice in terms of this investigation. But leaking top secret classified intelligence is a crime, and people need to be held accountable for that crime.
Yesterday, Senate lawmakers received a classified briefing from John Ratcliffe, Pete Hegseth, and General Dan Kane on the effectiveness of the mission. Both sides of the aisle still divided over the extent of the damage. Watch this.
Obliterated is a good word for me to use. Their operational capability was obliterated. It was highly effective.
It is going to take time to get a final assessment of how much damage.
I think it's safe to say that we have struck a major blow alongside our friends in Israel against Iran's nuclear program.
Anybody who says we know with certainty is making it up.
The House will receive its own briefing later today, and we've got reaction right now. Chris, what do you say?
Yeah, anybody who has talked to an international relations major who recently graduated knows where a lot of these folks loyalties lie, and that's who's staffing our State Department. And so while it's potentially possible that this is a leak coming from Capitol Hill, I think it's much more likely that we have folks within the State Department who are sympathetic to Iran, who hate America, who believe that we are doing irreparable damage to peace in the Middle East. It's all insanely bizarre, but that's the worldview that we're working with. We saw this where State Department employees were quitting their job and going to do glowing interviews on 60 Minutes and trying to advocate for what is effectively the pro-Iran position. So I think that's where the FBI and DOJ should be looking, is within the State Department with some of these younger staffers who are international relations majors from these Ivy League schools where we've seen the tentafadas going on for months.
Yeah, I mean, there's one more thing that you didn't mention. They don't want to have Trump have a success.
Right.
And they're against President Trump, John Lonsky.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, even if Trump found a cure for cancer, they would be against Trump for some reason. It's over the top. You shouldn't be politicizing a situation like this one. My goodness, we should do our utmost to assure that Iran never develops a nuclear weapon. That's the last thing in the world we want to have happen. And there is no way in the world that we ought to be tolerating these leaks that could be to the detriment of what the United States is doing to see to it that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. But as you said, and as Chris pointed out so well, that under, they're trying to hurt Trump, trying to find whatever they can do to take away from the apparent success of this particular mission.
Cheryl, what do you think?
Well, I want to pick up on what we heard from Senator Tom Cotton, and that is that this was a major blow to Iran's nuclear program, full stop. We can debate the semantics if you want to use the word obliterate or slow down. But, even Max Boot in the Washington Post this morning says, look at the bigger picture and how we have to frame this unbelievable mission and the unbelievable U.S. military and the might. This puts China, he writes, North Korea, Russia, and other hostile regimes on notice. Do not mess with President Donald Trump. He is not averse to using military power as long as he avoids lengthy entanglements. And even better news in all of this, Iran's response was so ineffectual. If this is the best Iran can do, then we should not be, at least in the near term, not worried about Iran. We'll see if the regime even is able to hold on to power after this, Maria.
I loved Kim Strassel this morning in the Journal. She writes, Trump bombs the leak machine. Trump bombs the leak machine, and goes on to discuss what President Trump did after the dust had yet to settle, she writes, on Saturday's Iran strikes, before CNN on Tuesday ran a story reporting a classified Defense Intelligence Agency report found they did not destroy the core components of the country's nuclear program. The administration shoved back hard, and it might be forgiven, of a bit of PTSD, she writes, it's not an exaggeration to say the entire first year of Trump's initial presidency was hobbled by partisan leaks. And that's what this was.